This week we read double Parshiot, Parshat Maseh. Good morning. This week we read Parshat Maseh. Parshat Maseh has many, or most of the halachot of Rotzeh Achir Miklat. So please open Rambam Sefer Nezikin Hilchot Rotzeach. Sefer Nezikin Hilchot Rotzeach. The Rambam says, Perek Aleph, Halacha Aleph. The Rambam says, Kol horeg nefesh Adam מישראל עובר בלא תעשה, שנאמר, לא תרצח. Later, we'll see in the Rambam, even if you kill a Gentile, according to Rambam, it's asur min Torah, but there's no punishment. We'll see later in Rambam. Here it says, Kol horeg nefesh אדם מישראל עובר בלא תעשה. ואם רצח בזדון, שני עדים, and the witnesses gave him a warning, יטעתו בסייף, סייף, חרב. בין שהרג את חברו, שנאמר, נקום מנקם, normally means סייף. מפי השמועה למדו, פי השמועה זה קבלה מסיני, נקום ינקם, איזה סייף. בין שהרג את חברו בברזל, בין ששרפו באש. You understand what the Rambam is saying here? If you push someone into a furnace of fire, perhaps we should execute you the same way. Said the Rambam, no, every murder, punishment is saif. Now you listen to a chidush of Rambam that normally we never bump into it, but here it is. Mitzvah b'yad goel adam. The Rambam here is not talking about a man who killed accidentally. In every case of murder, the mitzvah to kill the murderer is b'yad goel adam. Shene'emar goel adam הוא יעמיד את הרוצח. When, if there are two witnesses who testified and gave him a warning and he was captured right away, the two witnesses are the ones who are killing him. The Rambam is talking about someone who killed B'mezid, but for technical reasons, we cannot punish him, yes? So it says that Goel Adam should go after him. Who is labeled Goel Adam? Who is, remember the words Goel? It's to redeem, yeah? Chol ha'ra'ui le'yerusha, who Goel Adam. Here it is. Any relative who legally can inherit, who Goel Adam. So, which means, if there are sons, they are the first ones. If not, it's the father of the man who was killed. If not, it's the brothers of the one that were killed. If not, the nephews. Kol ha'ra'ui le'yerusha. The order of Yerusha is the son, the daughter. The Rambam doesn't mention, but L'chora, there's no difference between a son and a daughter. If there are no sons and daughters, the father of the deceased. If not, the brothers, because the brothers come from the father. If not, the children. Eli, we're looking in Rambam, Hilchot Rotzeach, Perek Aleph.
Thank you.
Halacha Bet. Listen good to the Rambam now. לא רצה גואל אדם, או שלא היה יכול להמיתו, או שאין לו גואל דם. What happens if someone doesn't have a relative? בית דין ממיתים את הרוצח בסייף. So the Rambam is telling us now that if there is a גואל אדם, and he was captured, and he was found guilty, the one that actually is going to kill him is the Goel Adam. I said before that it's only if he runs away. Here it seems from the Rambam, that even though normally Yad Ha'edim tiyeh bo barishona la'amito, this is by secular. Here by Saif, the Rambam says the one who is going to kill him is the Goel Adam. Okay.
This is after the court decides.
Of course. Only after the court, yeah. Murad says only after he was found guilty by the court. Listen further what the Rambam says now. Ahav sheharag et benu. Can you imagine? The father killed his son. Im haya la neherag ben, if there is a grandson, הרי זה הורג אבי אביו מפני שהוא גואל. Can you imagine? The grandson will have to kill his grandfather. Obviously, this case here is a case b'mezid. But what the Rambam is telling us is that the grandson is the goel adam of his father. ואם אין לו בן, או listen to this.
Well, why should that be a chidush? The Rambam is saying it. I mean, if we know that you're a goel hadam, why is he stressing that it is?
Maybe the mitzvah of kibud av ha'em,
okay,
kibud of a grandfather pushes away this.
So that's why he's saying this
mitzvah. Of course, but listen to this now. Listen good now. I'm saying it. He's asking, why would I think otherwise? Listen to the next line. Ve'im ein lo ben, so let's have names. I'm only borrowing the biblical names because we're familiar. Yaakov kills Reuven. Okay? Reuven has a son, Palu. So Palu can kill the grandfather. What happened if the one who was murdered doesn't have children? Who are the next ones in inheritance? The brothers. Are the brothers, Larry, go lay down to kill the father?
grandfather. Okay.
You hear again. Reuven killed, Yaakov killed Reuven. Reuven has a son. The son has a right to kill the grandfather. He doesn't have a son. The next in line to inherit the money are the brothers. Says the Rambam, "V'im ein lo ben, ein achad min ha'achim na'asa goel adam lehamit et aviv, ela beidin memitim oto." You hear this? We learned before that if someone murdered, the punishment is death by saif. Who is the one that is going to stab him? Who is the one that is going really to decapitate his head? This is the Goel Adam. A grandson can do it. The son cannot do it. Larry, why not? Obviously,
No,
so the grandson is not his grandfather.
no, yeah. Okay.
You see, we're sitting around a table after we had coffee and our favorite breakfast, and we discuss this. I have a friend. When he was in the army, his job was a very impressive man, very intelligent. His job was Hashem Yishmor V'Yatzil. He was in charge in Tel Aviv. Any soldier that was killed, he is the one that informs the family. Listen carefully, David. Every time he used to come, he came either with a nurse or a doctor, because very often people hear the bad news, they faint and just. Once he comes and knocks on the door, I'm making out the name, the Cohen family, yes. I'm very, very sorry to inform you. The brother and the mother were in the house. The brother took a chair and broke it on my friend. Then he took the plates from the kitchen, threw him. Okay? Why did he do it? What did my friend do? You lose.
You told him this.
Your senses. And you understand, if the father killed his son and we gave him a warning. What do you think the father is? He's not crazy. He's a terrible person. It's not very difficult to see why you would think that the son would kill his father. You understand that he was not the best father for the other brothers also if he's B'mezid, remember B'mezid, not accidentally. Here the Rambam says openly, ואחד הזכר ואחד הנקבה בגאולת אדם. See the Rambam? Even if it's a female, so which means if someone killed and the deceased or the murdered had only daughters, they can go after the.
So I just want to be clear though. Let's say, so if the grandfather kills the grandchild, and the father then is Goel Hadam, he can't kill his father. So the Beit Din is going to do it.
Yeah, this is exactly what the Rambam is saying. No, but Eli, we are not talking about here b'shogeg. You do realize that we are opening the first page in L'chot Rotzeach. This is a case b'mezid. There are two witnesses, and the man has to. Beit Din found him guilty, and now someone has to kill him with a knife. Who is doing it? The Goel Adam. The grandson would do it to his grandfather. Yes? The grandfather, yes? But the son would never do it to his father. This is what the Rambam is saying.
Well, what's the difference between Mezid and Shogeg? If Shogeg, he has Goel Hadam, he has a mitzvah of Goel Hadam. So again, Beit Din might step in and chase him, make him go to Ir Miklat, or something along those lines. Shogeg.
That's for sure. The chidush is that physically in Beit Din, okay. Open Rambam Ilchot Sanhedrin here. Look at the Rambam Ilay Ilchot Sanhedrin. Let's see how the Rambam describes in Ilchot Sanhedrin. What do you do? Remember, there are 36 Averot that Beit Din is executed for, yes? First, the Rambam is giving us in chapter 15 the list of all the Averot. Look a second in the Rambam Ilchot Sanhedrin. Your teacher, one of them.
Gesund.
Thank you. Look a second on Perek Yud Gimel. Rambam Ilchot Sanhedrin, Perek Yud Gimel. Okay, look, Halacha Aleph is a very long Halacha, but look at the end of Halacha Aleph. The Rambam says, as we take the man to be executed, you see, look here, Rachok, you see the word Rachok? You have it Rachok. Now you have it Rachok. Rachok ממקום ההריגה כ10 אמות, 20 feet away from the house where we kill him. אומרים לו, members of the court are telling the man who is about to be executed, התוודה, וידעו שכן כל המומתים מתוודים. וכל המתוודה יש לו חלק לעולם הבא.
Where are you reading this? Oh, I see now. I'm sorry. I found it. I'm sorry. I found it.
Okay, yeah. You realize the man is about to be executed from an Averah that he did b'mezid with two witnesses and a warning. We do it, which means we are going to kill you no matter what. But in order for the Aveira to be a kapara, now the Rambam continues, he may not יודע להתוודות. אומרים לו, אמור, say, תהא מיתתי כפרה על כל עוונותיי. Okay, now the Rambam, this is not the time to talk, the Rambam is adding, אפילו יודע בעצמו ששיקר, ששקר העידו, he knows that the testimony of the witnesses is a make-up test. A make-up. Let's say the case of Nevot, yes? Nevot. Two false witnesses made up a case, he is mitvadeh, fine. After he is mitvadeh, משקים אותו קורט של לבונה בכל של יין, they're giving him to drink something just to make him a little bit loose. Fine. Now the Rambam continues. And now the Rambam is telling us exactly how do you do it. Look a second now in Perek Yudaled, Halacha Chet. Yudaled Chet, the next page, Halacha Chet. מי שעמד על נפשו ולא יכלו בית דין לאסור אותו עד שיביטו. The man is a strong man, is fighting with the members of the בית דין, עד שימיתו במיתה שהוא חייב בה, הורגים אותו עדיו. The witnesses who are ready to push him from the roof, the witnesses who are ready to choke him with a scarf, the witnesses who are ready to pour hot lead into his body, they realize the man is fighting. בכל מיטה שיכולים להמית אותו. מאחר שנגמר דינו, he was found guilty. ואין רשות לשאר העם להמית אותו תחילה. Yes? If the man is putting a fight, the two witnesses who are standing there to execute him, should kill him any way they can. I'm just showing you in the Rambam that the ones that do it regularly are the witnesses. What did we start today's class that the Goel Adam is doing? This is by murder. By murder, the Goel Adam is invited to kill the guy. This is the Rambam. Yes? Unlike the other 4 types of mitot. Now look further. לפיכך, אם נקטעה יד העדים, if the witnesses lost the hand after he was found guilty, look now what the Rambam says. במה דברים אמורים בשאר מחויבי מיתות בית דין, that if the hands of the witnesses, yes, אבל במה דברים אמורים בשאר מחויבי מיתות בית דין, חוץ מן הרוצח, אבל הורג נפש שנגמר דינו, and he puts a fight, רודפים אחריו בכל דבר וביד כל אדם עד שממיתים אותו. Only by the other mitzvot, the ones that have the right to do it, is the Beit Din or the witnesses. Yes.
Rabbi, can they have to restrain him? I mean, obviously he's going to resist being killed. They have to restrain him, they tie him up. How does it work? I mean,
why is it so obvious? The man made a mistake. We testified.
well, agreed. So he knows he's guilty and he's going to get killed, but he's going to resist. So are they allowed to restrain him?
Going to resist. This is what we just learned. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is when the witnesses can take out a gun and shoot the guy. Yes.
Oh, they don't have to use this prescribed method if necessary.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They're saying this is like the Goel Hadam who can kill in any way he wants.
Exactly. This is the point. Now, just to see it, look now in the beginning of, I'm just taking you through the Rambam in Sanhedrin to show you that what we read today by murder by Goel Adam is very unique. Look in Perek 15. Perek 15, Halacha Aleph, yes? כיצד מצוות הנסכלים, for instance, yes? רחוק מבית הסקילה 400, 8 feet. מפשיטים אותו, we undress him and we cover a sensitive part, so it's a woman. ובית הסקילה, the house where you is being pushed from, is two, whatever, 20 feet, approximately, to שתי קומות. עולה לשם הוא ועדיו, he and the witnesses. וידיו אסורות, ואחד מן העדים דוחפו על מותניו מאחוריו. One of the witnesses is pushing him down. He falls down. If he died, he died. He מת ביצה. What happened if he did not skip few lines? אם לא מת, מגביהים העדים אבן שהייתה מונחת שם, עשה שני בני אדם, they used heavy boulder in the place. The two witnesses lifted, and the second witness who did not push him is let go. So this is skila. Remember, we always use the word skila as he's being stoned. Stoned is only after he was pushed and he died. Yes? The Rambam says, I'm just showing you that by regular, yeah.
Rabbi, if the Gemar Din, if the witnesses died, but there's still a death sentence, and I would think Beit Din steps in.
L'chora, it's the same. If the Rambam says, Eli, that if the hands got cut off, the man is not being executed. If he died, it should be the same.
Rabbi, a witness chooses not to do it. He just can't do it. Is he obligated? If he doesn't choose to do it, what's his? He has avon. Or how's it work? He's an everyday man in the street. Has to be a witness. He gave the warning. Now has to be an executioner.
When he comes to testify, he's being notified in the beginning. You're coming to us, but within 2 weeks, you have to stand on the roof, and you have to look in his eyes, and you have to push. This is part of the ways of the witnesses. It's very easy always to fabricate a story. But
So, meanwhile, I mean, some guilty criminals may go off because some of the witnesses may not want to do that.
The witnesses would never come to court.
Oh, I see. Because they know, in a way, that's a way of kind of.
You realize one of the what deters false witnesses? A, if you become a dim zomimim, we would execute you and not them. Not
Sure.
him. B, you are in charge of executing me.
Yeah.
Let's go back now to the first Rambam. Now you'll hear what the Rambam is saying. Let's go back now to the Rambam in Chot Rotzeach. Thank you.
But we have today's society, people don't want to get involved. So now you're walking in the street and you see a murder going on. You warn the guy not to do it. All of a sudden now you find yourself as a witness.
Like
You're not going to testify. You don't want to do it because who needs the headache? So criminals go free.
Real Judaism is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
It's your obligation to society.
Yeah.
And it's your obligation to yourself.
But it's called they make the Rambam specifically says it's a mitzvah.
Yeah. Wow.
What's it a mitzvah?
Different society.
No, but you see, the chokhmah is to realize all these so-called liberals who are basically terrible people. When they protest about murder, they're looking at murder, but if your son, your daughter, your mother will be killed or raped, then they said if every conservative, every liberal that was marked once or becomes suddenly, it's very painful. It's very, very painful. But you have to do what you have to do. It's, now look a second. Let's go back to this. So let's look again at the Rambam. When the Rambam told us in Halacha Bet Mitzvah B'Yad Goel Adam, this is murder b'Meisid. He is the one, Goel Adam, who Yamut et HaRotzeach, and every relative, and then we spoke about father, son, fine. Now, okay, this is obvious. Look in Halacha, I'm just reading it. רוצח שהרג במזיד, רוצח killed on purpose, אין ממיתים אותו העדים, the witnesses cannot touch him, לא רואים אותו עד שיבוא לבית דין וידינו במיתה, בית דין have to find him guilty. שנאמר, ולא ימות הרוצח עד עומדו לפני העדה למשפט. והוא הדין לכל מחויבי מיתות בדין שעברו ועשו, anyone that committed any of those averot, it's 36 averot that you might be killed for, שאין ממיתים אותו עד שיגמר דינם בבית דין. Okay.
Rabbi Prague, is there a difference in halacha between hariga and ritzicha?
It's the same, it's the same.
They're synonyms, in other words.
כן. זה אותו דבר. Okay, then the Rambam moves into a rodef, which is not our topic. Now, please jump to Perek Hey. Perek Hey. Perek Hey is speaking about this week's parasha. Kol ha'oreg b'shgaga, if you killed accidentally, gole ממדינה שהרג בו, להרי מקלט. Has to go to מקלט.
That's if there's no bait in at that point. That's just
correct. Listen carefully. ומצוות עשה להגלותו, שנאמר את מצוות עשה, שנאמר וישב בה אדמות הכהן הגדול. והוזהרו בית דין have a special warning, שלא ניקח כופר, מן הרוצח בשגגה כדי, the man is willing to build a new hospital, to build a new orphanage. Fine. Now listen to halacha that most of us are unaware. Ein harotzeach bishgaga gole, and of course you can substitute the word gole is being killed. אלא אם כן מתה נהרג מיד. אבל אם חבל בו בשגגה, he definitely struck him strongly, accidentally, אף על פי שעמדו למיטה, the doctors are saying in the ER, this man is going to die. וחלה הוא מת, אינו גולה, he's not going to עיר מקלט. שמא הוא קירב את מיטת עצמו. I mean, in the modern terminology, it means like this. If the guy has a lot of complications, high blood pressure, this, that, of course, the injury that he suffered weakens his death. But the factors are he died not because of the punch, not because of the stabbing. The Rambam says in a case like this, he's not going to be miklat. Which means that in the time of the Beit HaMikdash or in today's time, who is your doctor? Can we check your record? I'll give you an interesting example. This is many years ago, maybe 40 years ago. He was a very, very fine fellow in our block. An older man, he was in labor camps in Russia. He was mugged by two thugs. The gunpoint, they stopped him. Huh? Okay, his daughter called the police right away. The police told him when it happened, about 5-6 minutes ago. So the police told him, come into our car, let's cruise the neighborhood. Maybe we can catch him. The police is driving him in the car. He suffered a massive heart attack and he died.
Hmm.
Now, this is not רוצח ושוגג. Of course, they are murderers, yes. By us, in a good grand jury, this might be manslaughter of a second degree, maybe a third. Here, unfortunately, he died from a heart attack, which means all the experiences that he had in life came into his mind when he's sitting in the police car, and he remembers 5 minutes ago he saw a gun pointed to him, yes? In reverse, yes? The guy did murder, the guy did punch him in a way that he can die, but there are many other complications. The Rambam says,
That's not an example of a gorem or grama, is it?
of course, it's much less. It's much less. Nevertheless, they definitely killed him, yes?
But is there times, let's assume somebody punches somebody in the head and he passes out, but he's not dead. And little by little, the brain starts bleeding and it takes a week for the man to die. Is that considered a murder? Is there a time limit? 1 day, 1 month?
I don't think there's a time limit, but
Well, it's very much what you taught us last week. Im yitalech bachutz v'nikam.
this is exactly the pasuk over there, correct? The doctors have to follow Rani and tell us that everything began, but it's not previous. You
Yeah,
hear?
in other words, he's otherwise healthy. Therefore, it's only because of this blow.
Correct,
Otherwise, there may be other complications.
correct, correct.
I got it.
Now look in Halacha Gimel. Israel, listen carefully now, שהרג בשגגה את העבד. Every Eved, every slave that the Jewish man has, halachically, is like a woman, because he's chayav b'mitzvot keisha. A Jewish man cannot purchase a non-Jewish slave unless he puts him in the mikveh and he tells him that he has to keep the mitzvot like a woman. If he refuses, the Jew has to sell him a year later. Therefore, if a Jew is killing a slave, or at Ger Toshav, you have a Gentile living in the Jewish state, and he took upon himself in front of 3 people to keep Sheva Mitzvot B'nai Noach, his halachic title is Ger Toshav. So a Jew killed an Evet Knaani or Ger Toshav Gole, the Jew goes to Galut. Now in reverse, וכן העבד שהרג בשגגה, it's the same. The slave killed accidentally, the Eved goes to Galut. Now look a second in Halacha Hey. Fascinating Halacha, this is a Mishnah. הבן שהרג את אביו בשגגה, השם ישמור. The son killed his father. קורה, obviously. וכן האב שהרג את בנו בשגגה, גולה על ידו. The father killed his son, the son the father. במה דברים אמורים ושהרגו שלו בשעת לימוד? או שהיה מלמדו אומנות אחרת שאינו צריך. Listen to this. אבל אם ייסר בנו כדי ללמדו תורה או חוכמה, the father is teaching his son a trade or Torah, and the kid lazes around and the father smacks him a good smack and he died from it. Part 2. Why? Because the father has the right to do it. Yes?
Rabbi Prague, suppose I'm driving a car today with my father and I'm in an accident, bishgaga, and my father dies. Do I go to an Ir Miklat?
Definitely not. No, definitely not. It's a very good question, yes.
But based on what it says, Haben Sharagat David Bishgaga.
That's a direct murder. That's a direct blow.
I mean, it's an interesting case. You hear what it says? The father is in the car. The son was involved in an accident accidentally. The father died. He died from the accident. You happen to be the driver, but no one would say you killed your father.
Collateral damage.
The Shalaya Famo, yes. Okay, you realize that you have a page in the Gemara and that when exactly is the father or the Rebbe permitted to smack his student? And we need witnesses that he
Excessive.
exactly as David says, it's not excessive, it didn't get violent, you know. One of the questions that Hani, this is Rabbi Zilberstein, there's one of the questions, obviously, I think it's made up, but it's a very good case. There's a teacher is calling up the father and he says, your son is out of control. The father says, my son? He's a good kid. He says, no, in my class, he's out of control. Unless, listen good, the teacher says, unless you are willing to buy rightly, you know, one of these medicines that comes,
Ritalin.
Yeah, really, yeah.
whatever the name is, right? The father says he never had a problem. The teacher says, you want him in my class? The teacher, the father, listen good, the father, it's a made up case, but it's very good. The father says to the teacher, to give him every day a pill in class, you killed my kid. So the teacher says, remember, the teacher is sent him to bring me coffee from the office. As I sent him, I'm giving him a pill. I say, you know, take the pill. Few weeks, the father buys the pills. Teacher does it every day. After a few weeks, the father says to his son, so how are things going? Very well. Because the teacher says, your son is an angel. I mean, exactly. He says to his son, what do you do every day? He says, when I go to buy coffee, I put the pill in the teacher's coffee.
Everything is fine now.
Which means the teacher was the problem. Not very often you do understand that all these leniencies that the Gemara says that the teacher doesn't go, it's not if he had a fight with his wife or he had red light or he didn't sleep or this is a murder. Anyway, the question that Rabbi Zilberstein is discussing is, can the father call this teacher and say, pay me for the medicine because it's the medicine was medicine for you, not
Sounds like a very Jewish story.
Oh, okay, no, but you see, the point is an interesting point. Yes? Because I'm spending money to help you, you are unaware of it. Yes. Okay, now going back to your question before. Now I'm saying this concept of smacking someone for the good reason doesn't apply by us. Because we know that people get violent right away and the teacher takes it personally. And the minute the teacher takes it personally and is punishing, he's getting the exact opposite results. This is my father, Alav Shalom, told me that he heard from Dr. Zamenhof. This is good. He used to daven every day in the same shul. One day after Shachrit, he calls my father's name. He says, Rav Omar, I have a story for you, listen good. Rav Zamenhof says, when I was doing this, elementary, I get 7, 8, whatever. But this was a very serious class. Our Rebbe was serious, everyone was learning. And one day, listen good, one day the teacher noticed 2 kids are playing in the middle. I mean, this is a story 110 years ago, 120 years ago. He took whatever the pill of, whatever, again. Listen good now. He stopped teaching. I mean, you can imagine, Dr. Zaman is a student in the class. You can imagine the Rebbe is not, and he's looking at the kids. The kids froze, obviously. The Rebbe left the class. He comes back 2 minutes later and continues teaching. The class is over, calls up the 2 kids. And he said to them, why do you think I left the class? And the kids are shaking. He says, because I was very disappointed. And I punished you then. I would do it out of anger and disappointment, and I couldn't.
Wow,
Went outside to cool off.
wow.
I came back. Now I have to do something. So he says to the kids, "Tell me what I can do to you." Meantime, they are crying already. You can imagine. So the kid says, "Give us a good smack." He says, "You know, the Yiddish, you have a glitter. He did like this.
Yeah,
This is what he told my father. He says to my father, you are in the business of education. This is a message that the kids would never, ever forget. You understand?
Rabbi, I was in Talmud Torah in the 6th grade or 7th grade. Ham Sha'ol Alav Shalom was our teacher. And you go to Talmud Torah at 4 o'clock. After a long day at school, you're going to 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And invariably, boys would misbehave. So the general thing was you put your hand out and you get hit with a ruler on your palm. But he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Put your hand out. He took the ruler and just tapped the palm. He couldn't bring himself to do it. But that tap was worse than getting hit.
And
Because you were put up front and you were misbehaving and the rabbi was not happy with you. End of the story. Nobody got hurt.
but this is exactly the point. Nevertheless, you see the Rambam and the Mishnah says, if a father or a teacher smacked the student or the son while they are teaching, and the kid deserved it, and somehow he died,
Mm.
the father is patur, the son is patur. You realize that we're talking about this type of a smack that was obvious for educational purpose. Today it sounds like, crazy.
But there's another way of thinking about it. Not that the teacher did. What happens when I'm thinking you're over bar mitzvah, so you're ben dat, and you're in high school, like someone might have been years ago, and you tortured the teacher so that he bade at that small like that. I wonder how much I'm going to have a kapara for myself, but because I wasn't mitzvah yet.
You know what he says? Okay, it is very serious. Many kids told me today, sometimes when they come for the class, he says the teachers today cannot smack us, but the language they use.
Yeah.
I says, I wish you would smack me. And I say
Sure.
if you smack a student,
Yeah, kids are scarred by being chastised in front of the class.
the class is over.
You degrade them.
If you really stab him with your tongue, shoot him with your tongue,
Terrible.
you never.
Rabbi, another Talmud Torah story. When I was in the 3rd or 4th grade, we had a teacher, and the kids misbehaved. So he would put the kid in the corner. Oh, well, that's okay. In the corner, you have your timeout. But then the shamosh came in to bring tea, and so they would call him Hamor Gadol. Really didn't do a lot for self-esteem.
No, but everyone agrees that there is a fine line. It's very difficult today because we are on the edge all the time. Look now in Halacha Zayin. Batchila, please listen good now. Echad shogeg ve'echad mezid, magdimim la'arei miklat. Any murderer, even if it's a murder on purpose, he has to run first to miklat to be protected from the Goel Adam.
Yeah.
ובית דין של אותה העיר שהרג בה, the court where the murder took place, שולחים ומביאים אותו משם. They bring him back. ודנים אותו, you have to decide. שנאמר ושלחו זקני עירו ולקחו אותו משם. מי שנתחייב מיתה, here you see the Rambam says it openly the way we learned in the beginning. If he was found guilty, ממיתים אותו, שנאמר ונתנו אותו ביד גואל אדם. Hear the Rambam? If he is found guilty, we are taking the blood relative to execute only by murder. מי שנפטר, if we decided the murder was an accident, פותרים אותו. פותרים אותו means he's not חייב מיתה. שנאמר והצילו העדה את הרוצח, מי שנתחייב גלות, מחזירים אותו למקומו, שנאמר, it says in this week's parasha, והשיבו אותו העדה למקלט. Now here's the problem. You can assume that the blood relative is sitting in court, yes?
Hmm.
The minute the court makes the decision, this guy is vulnerable now.
Yeah, for that moment.
He has to go 20 miles. Remember, it's not today we can put you in a special car. Says the Rambam, כשמשווים אותו, when we are sending it back to the עיר מקלט, מוסרים לו שני תלמידי חכמים to protect him, שמא יהרגנו בדרך. ואומרים להם, and the job of these two תלמידי חכמים is to tell the potential murderer, אל תנהגו בו מנהג שופכי דמים, ושוגג בא מעשה לידו. Okay.
But if they did kill him,
Oh.
because the words the Rambam uses, al tinahagu bo minhag shofchei damim, it doesn't say
Custom.
asur. It says
Good. So look at the next. Look. רוצח בשגגה שהרגו גואל אדם חוץ לתחום עיר מקלטו פטור. And look at you. אחד הרגו בדרך קודם שייכנס לעיר מקלטו.
Yeah.
He killed him on the way, yes?
Yeah.
או שהרגו בחזירתו עם השניים ששומרים אותו. The relative is wild, and he says, I don't care, the two scholars, I don't care what you say, I have to punish you. Yes? נכנס לעיר מקלטו ויצא, הרי זה התיר ורשות לגואל האדם להורגו. Here? So the Rambam says, we would not kill the relative, even though we would encourage him very much not to do it, yes? Now the Rambam continues. Listen carefully what the Rambam is saying now. נכנס לעיר מקלטו ויצא, the guy made it safely to the עיר מקלט, he went out to the movies, ויצא חוץ לתחומה בזדון, הרי זה התיר עצמו למיתה. The minute you left knowingly, it's basically you're wearing a t-shirt. Here I am, get me.
well, that's David HaMelech with Shlomo.
Correct. However, הוא רשות לגואל האדם להורגו. There's a מחלוקת in the Mishnah. Is the גואל האדם obligated or yes?
It has the right to do it.
Says the Rambam רשות. The Rambam now says a חידוש. ואם הרגו כל אדם, אין חייבים עליו.
And not obligated.
אין לו דם. See, in the Mishnah, we might look at it tomorrow. There is one rabbi that says that the Goel Adam is obligated to kill. If the Goel Adam is chayav, then even if a stranger did it, the stranger is patur. But since the Rambam is saying that the Goel Adam has only the right to do it, yes? So the Rambam says if another person killed the murderer who walked out of the miklat, this is a full-fledged murder. B'ezrat Hashem, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Zachar Baruch. Thank you.
Rabbi Prabhu.
Larry, did you call Effie?
I already took care of it. Yes, thank you. I spoke to Max and I texted with Max. He knows what he's going to do. He said,
Okay, בסדר גמור. יופי, call to, bye.
have a great day, Rabbi Prabhu.
Bye.